Right now, try this. Reach over and tickle your own arm. Try it. Nothing, right? Barely a tingle. Now imagine someone else did the exact same thing. Same spot, same motion. You'd probably burst out laughing. Same touch. Same nerve endings. Same skin, but your brain treats them like two completely different events. And the reason why is one of the strangest things your brain does to you every single second of your life. And you've never noticed. Here's the setup scientists use. They ask you to move a stick to tickle your own palm. Then they use a machine to move the exact same stick in the exact same way. But a moment later, same object, same location, same pressure. You rate the second one as far more ticklish than the first. Your hand didn't change. The stick didn't change. Even the physical sensation on your skin was identical both times. The only thing that changed was who was in control. And that one detail, control, is enough to completely flip how ticklish something feels. So what's actually happening inside your head? Every time you move, your brain doesn't just send a command to your muscles. It also sends a copy of that exact command to a part of your brain called the cerebellum. Scientists call this copy an efference copy. Basically, your brain predicts exactly what sensation is about to happen because it already knows what you're about to do. Milliseconds before your finger even touches your skin, your cerebellum has already calculated this touch, this pressure, this exact spot is coming, and when the real sensation arrives, it matches the prediction perfectly. So your brain quietly cancels it out, like noise-canceling headphones, but for touch. It's not that you don't feel it. It's that your brain decided in advance it wasn't worth reacting to. This isn't a rough guess either. It's a shockingly precise forecast, built from thousands of nearly identical movements you've made before. Your brain has essentially built a personal simulation of your own body, running just ahead of reality, updating itself every time you move. This isn't a glitch. It's one of the most important tricks your nervous system ever developed. Imagine if your brain reacted the same way to every touch, whether it came from you or from something else. Every step you take, every time your clothes brush your skin, every time your own hand moves near your face, all of it would scream for attention like a threat. You'd never be able to tell the difference between your own harmless movement and something dangerous touching you from outside. Your brain had to learn to ignore itself so it could stay alert for everything that isn't you. Self-generated sensation gets filtered out. Everything else stays sharp, urgent, impossible to ignore. This filtering system runs in the background of literally everything you do, silently sorting your own actions from anything unexpected, so your attention stays locked onto whatever might actually be dangerous. But here's where it gets strange. In some people, this filter breaks. Researchers have found that people experiencing certain symptoms of schizophrenia, specifically symptoms involving a distorted sense of self, can actually tickle themselves. Their brain fails to correctly predict its own movements. It stops recognizing the action as self-generated. So the touch arrives unfiltered, like it came from someone else. Doctors have actually used this exact test in research settings, a simple tickle test, as one small piece of evidence about how a person's brain is processing the boundary between self and not self. A missing giggle reflex turned into a diagnostic clue. It's a strange kind of proof. A laugh that shouldn't exist becomes a window into how broken or intact someone's inner sense of self really is. And it all comes down to that same tiny prediction system misfiring somewhere deep inside the brain. And once you notice this filter, you start noticing it everywhere. You don't hear your own heartbeat as a constant thumping alarm, even though it's happening every second of your life. You don't smell your own body odor the way strangers might, because your brain adapted to it and stopped reporting it. Even your eyes do this. Every time your eyes dart from one point to another several times a second, the image on your retina blurs completely. You should be seeing constant streaks, but you never notice because your brain deletes that blur before it ever reaches your conscious awareness. Your entire experience of reality is edited in real time by a brain that's constantly deciding what you're allowed to notice. It's not laziness. It's editing for survival, keeping you focused on what's new, what's changed, what might actually matter, instead of drowning you in your own background noise every second of the day. In the early 2000s, researchers at MIT built a simple robotic arm specifically to test this filter. Subjects controlled the robot with a joystick, and it would tickle their palm exactly when they moved. When the robot responded instantly, subjects felt almost nothing, just like tickling themselves. But when the researchers added a small delay, even just a fraction of a second between the movement and the touch, something changed. The brain could no longer perfectly predict the sensation. The prediction and the reality no longer lined up. And suddenly, it was ticklish again. A tiny gap in timing was enough to trick a system that had been fooling you your entire life. And that's the real twist here. Your brain isn't measuring touch. It's measuring timing. Miss the timing by even a fraction of a second, and the whole illusion of "this is me" instantly falls apart. So the next time you try to tickle yourself and nothing happens, you're not broken and you're not missing out on some fun sensation. You're watching one of the most sophisticated systems in your entire body do exactly what it evolved to do: quietly separate you from everything that isn't you. Every second, your brain is predicting your own actions, canceling out your own noise, and deciding, without asking you, what counts as worth noticing. Your heartbeat, your smell, the blur behind your own eyes, the touch of your own hand. All of it filtered before you ever get a vote, which means the version of reality you're experiencing right now isn't the raw world. It's an edited one, curated by a brain that's been quietly deciding what you gets to feel since before you were even born. And once you notice it, you can't stop noticing it. Every heartbeat, every blink, every quiet decision your brain makes without asking permission first. If this messed with your head a little, you know what to do. Subscribe.